Are you tired of spending hours customizing your resume for every single job application? What if I told you that you could just paste a job URL and get a perfectly tailored resume in seconds? Today I'm gonna show you how to build an AI powered resume optimizer using N8N. We will create an automation that reads any job posting, analyzes your experience, and generates a custom resume that matches what employers are looking for. No more generic resume, no more guessing what keywords to include, just paste the link, hit submit, and watch the magic that happened. Stick around because by the end of this video, you will have your own personal AI resume assistant. As usual, let's start a brand new workflow, and here let me save it. First step, let's discuss what actually happens. We submit a job URL to a form, and that's pretty much it. So internally, what we do is once the job URL is submitted, right, it goes to our job hunt AI engine. It will take your info and it will tailor the resume and cover letter for you based on your info and what is asked in the job. Okay, so how does that look in implementation? I've already created the form for you. Once you paste the form, so it goes to this responses sheet. You can see I tested with one application, but we can delete this and restart again. I'm gonna delete that. So what happens is after you paste the job URL, it will be available in this responses form. And then if we look at this diagram, what happens? It will go and grab my info, meaning the applicant's info. The info is saved in another spreadsheet. You can check the bio. The applicant ID is here, first name John Doe, phone number is there, email is there, LinkedIn is here. This is my bio, just basic biological information. Now in the next tab, in the next sheet, we can find the experiences. Basically it can go as many as you want, but I've created 3 sample experience here. The fields are job title, company name, start date, end date, and the job responsibilities, what you did as a part of a job. And you can notice here we have the first title as software engineer, full stack developer, AI engineer. These are just sample data. I just wanted to show you how it works, right? You can similarly add the certification information here, title, date issued, expiration date, and so on and so forth. All right, so you can extend as per your need, but I just wanted to show you how it works with this information. As the next step, if you look at this diagram, what happens? The job hunt AI will get the information from this job hunt AI applicant profile and process or send that information to the AI agent and create a custom tailored optimized resume for you. Okay, you can see here as output we have a resume and cover letter that's saved in our Google Drive. Pretty neat. So let's go to building our automation tool. All right, as stated earlier, let's start with our job post URL. So first of all, as usual, we search for Google Sheet. Okay, let's call it on row added. So let's choose a Google account. We already saw that in the previous video how to set it up. If you need help, please check the link in the description below. So document would be, let's say, we can also get from by the URL. So document of this would be the get job post URL node, right? Get job post is here, and then this is the URL. Let's copy that link, go to the workflow, let's paste here. Okay, I have that. Now as part of this sheet, I'm gonna choose the responses. Okay, trigger on row added, that's good. Now let's fetch the test event. It has nothing. Let's pick this random job. It doesn't really matter. Okay, as if we are applying for this. So let's copy this and paste in our form. Let's see what happens. Paste here, it will submit, and the responses would be available here. Good. So as the next step, you can see if I click on fetch test data, it will provide me the data as a response output. You can also select the table form. That's all good. We already have seen it previous as well. Okay, so what happens after the job post is submitted? Well, we need to get our information from this sheet, right? Applicant information. So how do you do that? Let's go here. Let's add another node for sheet, Google Sheet, and it will be get rows in the sheet, right? So I'm going to choose this Google account sheet within the document, or you can choose document, doesn't really matter, or sheet within the document sounds good, from list. So let's get that ID, share, copy link, done. Now if you go to the workflow, paste here the link. Okay, sheet would be by list. You can choose on the bio. Okay, because that's what we are trying to do. So let's rename this node as get applicant bio. Okay, and that's good. Let's execute this step. You can see I am able to pull the data from the spreadsheet. That's good. Let's go back here, click on this brush icon, it will arrange things for you. Let's click another node and get sheet for the experiences. Okay, so same process, it's gonna be, or maybe I'll just duplicate this so you know how to do it. You can duplicate this as well, click here, and we can also do get applicant experiences. Okay, same process, same document, it will be the experiences sheet. Okay, fine, let's click on execute step. You can see I have 3 experiences and it's able to pull up here. Okay, let's go back. So now I have 3 different nodes. So I have a node that will execute on a trigger, and then there are 2 dependent nodes. Okay, so what these are doing is basically, once I have the job post available or the URL available or submitted, right, and then I'm gonna pull data from my applicant bio and then experience section in the same document. Now I need to find a way to merge this document, so when I send this to the LLM, the AI agent, it's easier for me, right? So what we also need is, after we get the job post, we also need to pull the job data from the post. What I mean by that is, if you look at this job that we just selected, right, let's open this job, what is it is actually about. You can see all this data is here. For example, the minimum qualification, preferred qualifications, things like this. So all this information we need to know and pull, and we need to optimize our resume so that all these criteria are perfectly, not just perfectly, we are optimizing our resume to be the best candidate in the submission pool. Okay, so that's the intention. Now let's go here and let's do some, we need to find a way to merge this data, right? So I'm going to choose for the merge node. You can see merges data of multiple streams once data from both is available. So select that. So if you look at this node, right, and we have 3 data sources coming in, so I'm gonna change the number of inputs. Click here, change the number of inputs to 3, and then let's call it data dip. Okay, so we have not defined our input sources. So what would that be? First of all, the one would be the URL itself. So let's do that in item 2. One would be the applicant bio, applicant experiences would go here. So when does this gets triggered? So at the same time this gets triggered, right? So let's draw like this. Okay, so as of now we have this as our template. Now let's see what happens. Let's execute the workflow. You can see all green, no problem at all. You can see here as a JSON file format, we are able to combine the data sources into a singular data structure, so that in future we can just grab and go from single source of truth, right? So this is great. Now that we have all the applicant information compiled into a single data structure, now the other aspect of this task is that we need to pull the job description or job requirement as well, right? So one way to do that is just by making that HTTP GET request. But sometimes it's not always perfect, because when you do HTTP request, GET request, we are pulling this page, not the data from the API. So that's not really helpful for us. So how do we do that? Well, we can send this to our LLM model and then say, based on this URL, please pull the data for me. Okay, that's what we are going to do. Let's choose for the basic LLM model. basic LLM chain. That's what we are going to choose. Same process, connected chat trigger nodes. No, not really. We are going to define the prompt below. And then as a part of our prompt, what we need to do is we need to say, hey, you are an data expert, a data extraction expert. Could you please use this URL and extract the required information for me? Okay, just to ease things out, I have already created a prompt for this. And how do we paste that is by going to this expression, click on this button, and I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna make this information available for you guys to copy. Okay, so if you read the prompt, you are an expert data extraction AI assistant. Your task is to meticulously analyze the text content of the job posting and extract key information into a structured JSON object. Okay, remember the JSON object because we are going to map this in future. Okay, and you can also see how do I like my data to be outputted. So that's basically the response schema here. All right, so let's close that. That sounds good. Let's execute this step. You can see something went wrong. Our model subnode must be connected and enabled. So let's go back to the node, and this should be connected to our Google Gemini chat model. We have seen it before. If you need help how to connect AIAgent to Google Gemini, please check the video from the description below. So now we have the Gemini model connected to this basic LLM chain. So this also gets executed at the same time. Now, based on the job posting URL, the basic LLM chain will get the job post. If you look at this expression one more time, JSON job post URL is my prompt, right? So it's actually coming from here. See here, it's all turning green, and you can see the output is coming as such. Okay, this is looking good. Now let's go back to the canvas. At this point, we have the chat model, we have the job post URL. Okay, let's see what is the output of this. You can see the output is actually our JSON format, but it's not really JSON. It's stringified JSON. So we need to extract it somehow to make it a little bit better for the future nodes to work, right? So let's see how we can do that. So how can we extract that stringified JSON to the pure JSON? Well, to do that, let's write a simple code. Let's click in this button and add a code node run custom JavaScript or Python code, right? So you can see the input is actually this stringified JSON, and the output based on whatever we implement here, it's gonna give us the output. Let's click on this button, execute a step. You can see it has nothing to do with the data manipulation. Basically what we need to do is we need to write ourselves some code. So just to make things easy and faster, I'm gonna write here so that you can follow or copy. Okay, let's delete all of these and let me paste here. So basically what this code is doing is we are defining a new variable called item, and it's pulling all the items from the list from the list here, right? You can see this is the list of object. Okay, so that's good. So now we are extracting the JSON string only, right? You can see item is the whole body, and item.json dot text will give us this actually value, this text, whatever the content, the value of this key, text key. Okay, so now we are extracting or parsing the data. JSON.parse, we're parsing the string to actual JSON. You can see we are returning the parse data. JSON.parse is a method. It gives you a stringified JSON into a real JavaScript object. Okay, great. Now then that object is returned as the original text, right? Written at the JSON. Basically this is for the catch error, but if the parsing went well, if there was no issue, we're basically returning the parse data as our JSON object. That looks good. Let's click on this execute step. You can see here input text was not a valid JSON. Fine, no problem. Something went wrong, right? You can see it went to the catch block. Now let's go back and see what happened exactly. Save it and click on this browse icon. It will clear things up for you. Now let's execute one more time. Sometimes what happens is because of the data flow, things are not perfectly carried to the next node. So I'd like to refresh and restart again. So you can see here workflow executed successfully. Double click, and as we expected, all this stringified JSON is actually mapped to these fields. We have the job post URL, job title, job requirement ID, department is there, company, compensation, right? All kind of information that we needed or we asked to our LLM is now available in a real workable data structure. Now what is the next step? What do we do after we have the data from the job, we have the data from our bio and the applicant information? Now we need to, let's create another data deep so that we can have a consolidated data from the basic LLM chain and the applicant database. Okay, let's click on merge again. Now I want to merge two data sources. What are those? Let's go back to the canvas and let's see here. One is the definitely coming from the data deep, and one is coming from the basic LLM chain that's regarding the job info, right? Let's click here to our input 2. Let's rename this to basic LLM chain. For what? This is to get the job details, right? I just rename that just to make it easier for us to follow through. Okay, just to reiterate what we did so far, we have a job applicants database, a profile, and we do have the job URL from where we are pulling information that is relevant or important for us to include in our resume and cover letter, so we can maximize our chances of getting interviewed or the job itself, right? So let's save that. Let's click on this brush again, keep updating the workflow. So now the next step is to actually create resume and cover letter. So how do you do that? Well, basically I'm going to use the basic LLM chain just like before. Let's choose basic LLM chain, and in here, is it trigger chat node? Not really, it's defined below. We need to write our prompt. And then how do you write the prompt? You are a resume assistant. Okay, that's the prompt from the user. And then we can also add a system prompt. You can click on this system, and like usual, let's click on this expression. Let's expand this window. I'm also pasting a prompt here for us to create the resume and cover letter. As you can see, I'm telling the Aniden model to say, hey, you are an elite career strategist and resume writer. Your primary function is to analyze the applicant's profile and target job posting, and then generate a hyper optimized resume and cover letter. Okay, I'm giving all the information or the context here. The critical task, like how do you optimize and tailor, is provided here. So the achievement, like how can the model achieve it, all the information is provided as below. Okay, so if you notice, I've also provided the format for the resume. You can see professional summary. This is how I would like my resume to be formatted, and so on and so forth. You can copy these prompts. Now let's go to the next step. Okay, so we have the basic LLM chain. Now what happens if we have the LLM chains? Let's rename this before we move on. Let's call it optimize resume and cover letter. Okay, let's save it. Let's click outside. Let's connect to our Google Gemini chat model and choose 2.5 Flash. Let's click go back. So we have this model ready. The input would be the merged data. Okay, now let's execute the flow. Let's see what happens. See, and this executed, but it's working here. We can actually check the logs. Great, it's going to this node now. Great. What do we see if we click here? You can see the text for the resume is here, and the cover letter is also provided here, right? So we need to properly map these data to our document in the Google Drive. So as the next step, let me create a drive, or just search with docs, Google Docs. Okay, and then create document. Basically create resume. So Google Docs account, Resource would be the document. Operation is creation, my drive. Folder name, let's call it job hunt AI. Title would be the resume. Okay, now let's go back. Similarly, we need to create a file for our cover letter. So let's copy that and paste here. It's going to be same, almost similar. Now let's create cover letter. Okay, and the title of the document would be the cover letter, and it's also creation operation. Now I can point this node, the basic LLM, the output of this LLM, to the create cover letter node. Correct. Now as the blank documents are created, we need to update these blank documents. Let's copy, duplicate this again, and then let's rename this to update doc with resume content. Right, and then what do we do as a part of operation? It's actually update, right? Update call. Doc ID is basically we need to run that, but I'll show you in some time. Okay, so once we connect this node, create node to the update node, we can see all the file that's created. So it looks like there are multiple files created for resume. We will see why, but at least we know the file is created, right? And the doc ID would be this one. Okay, doc ID is there. That's fine. Okay, let's go back to canvas, and similarly we can duplicate this. Let's duplicate again, so we can do the similar process for the cover letter. Okay, update. Let's go back and connect this dot. All right, so it did execute. You can see update part is there. So we just need to mention that this is the ID that I wanted to update the content with. Content is actually coming from the LLM model. If you notice this LLM chain, so content is actually coming from the LLM, the text. And let's go back again. Let's click on this update resume. And the content is also coming from the basic LLM chain, optimized resume. It's gonna be the text content. Okay, let's go back here, save it. Okay, so now let's execute the flow one more time. So we are getting the applicant's information in this section, right? And then based on the job post URL, we are pulling job posting related data in this portion. And then we're trying to merge these two data so that we know how to tailor this data based on what is being asked, right? For that reason, we are merging here. And then we are again telling our AI agent LLM chain to generate and optimize resume and cover letter content for us. Here we are creating the document, both the documents and those blank documents are being populated in at the end. That's pretty much it, guys. So in this way, we can create or apply thousands of jobs a day instead of going copying and pasting all the job information, then pulling the data from ChatGPT and whatnot. We can actually do this to automate our task. Now, if I run this service again, it will only create one resume and one cover letter for me. Okay, let me save. Let's click on this browse icon so it looks nicer. Click on execute workflow. See, it's running faster now. All right, great. So it just executed. Now let's go to our folder and see if it created the resume and cover letter based on what we asked. Okay, and here you can see the resume that was created and the cover letter. Nice. So we can see the cover letter is like this. Similarly, we can also see the resume that was here. Okay, so resume is like this. Awesome. This is great, guys. So we can use this workflow to apply for thousands of jobs a day. If you need this template, please click the link in the description below so you can download for free. All right, thanks for watching, guys. It was Job Hunt AI workflow. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel a lot. And if you want me to make another AI agent video, please comment down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.